With all the talk around hardware wallets today, and more specifically Ledger, I thought it would be a perfect time to review two of the most popular hardware wallets, and that is the Keystone Pro and the Ledger Nano X. Ledger has been a preferred hardware wallet over the past couple of years, especially because it can support a ton of different coins and NFTs. However, with the recent controversy, the Keystone Pro is making its way as one of the new preferred hardware wallets and is growing more reputable every day. So in this video, I want to compare the design, security, coin support, compatibility, as well as the price between the Keystone Pro and the Ledger Nano X hardware wallets. Let's get right into it. First impressions are everything, so let's start with the design aspect of both of these wallets. Now, there are some huge differences when comparing these two wallets as far as the design goes, and well, here's why. Let's start with the Keystone Pro. First, you get this 4-inch touchscreen that is super sensitive to touch, and it even has a little vibration that you can enable or disable that lets you know when you're tapping the device. It also comes with a camera on the rear for scanning QR codes, as well as a biometric fingerprint authentication. This is used to access the device as well as approve transactions. You don't have to use this if you don't want to. You can turn it on and off in the settings. The Pro version also comes with two batteries. They both look like this. It's connected to the wallet using a magnet. One is a rechargeable lithium ion battery, which is this one right here, and the other one takes 4 AAAs. It's exactly the same, except it's got 4 AAAs. And to put it on, you just stick it like that. It takes a few hours to charge the battery, and the battery will last maybe a couple hours on a charge if you're using it constantly. As far as the durability goes, the Keystone Pro is made out of fiberglass, and you know, it's pretty durable. Definitely wouldn't want to be throwing it around or tossing it because it will probably break. It's not super heavy. It weighs 115 grams without the battery. The battery is probably another, I don't know, 10 or 15 grams or so. So it's definitely not a super heavy device, but if you drop it, it'll definitely fall harder compared to the Ledger Nano X. Now let's look at the Ledger Nano X. Obviously, it's a much smaller device. It has 2 buttons for navigating the entire device right here. And as you can see, the screen is much smaller. So if you have a hard time seeing small text or reading small screens, the Ledger Nano X is probably not for you. What I do like about the design is that it is made with brushed aluminum, so it is very durable. And then this inner piece is made with plastic. So as long as it's folded in, you could probably drop it and it'll be okay. It also only weighs, I believe, about 35 grams. So it is much lighter compared to the Keystone Pro. Here are the two next to each other. As you can see, the Keystone Pro is much larger and it has that easy to read display versus the Ledger Nano X, which, some people will either need reading glasses or like a magnifying glass to see because, again, it is that small. Security is super important when it comes to hardware wallets. After all, that is why we all own hardware wallets, to safely store our crypto and NFTs, and the Keystone Pro is one of the most secure hardware wallets on the market for various reasons. First off, it is completely air-gapped. As you can see, there's no USB connection. It does have a micro SD card port, and that is solely for upgrading the firmware. And then, of course, it has the biometric fingerprint scanner on the back that can only be accessed if you scan your fingerprint. Of course, you set it up just like your iPhone or mobile phone. It'll scan your finger so you can access it and approve transactions. It also has the same secure chip element that is found in the Ledger Nano X, which is a EAL5+, which is one of the more secure. I think it goes up to 7, but in terms of secure chip elements, 5 is right up there with the best of them and is a standard in the hardware wallet industry. When you set up the Keystone Pro hardware wallet, it will randomly generate a 24-word secret recovery phrase. This is 12 more words than you would commonly find when you set up a software wallet such as MetaMask. So it is a bit more secure in terms of the secret recovery phrase. Keystone also regularly provides firmware updates to ensure that your wallet security remains up to date, as well as functionality. And one of my favorite features that the Keystone Pro offers users is its self-destruct mechanism. So after a certain amount of failed attempts when trying to enter the wallet, or if you were to try to physically access the wallet by taking it apart, the self-destruct mechanism would erase everything on the wallet so that even if someone were to get into it, they could not gain access to your accounts because they would be erased. That doesn't mean that your assets would be gone, as they are still stored on the blockchain. You would just have to sign back in using your secret recovery phrase. Now let's talk about the Ledger Nano X security. Now this is not a air-gapped device, as it does have a USB port. It also has Bluetooth connectivity that allows you to connect to your mobile phone so that you can access Ledger Live on your mobile device. But it does have that secure chip element, which again is a standard in the hardware wallet industry, and it helps prevent hackers and scammers from gaining access to your hardware wallet, either physically or online. Similar to the Keystone Pro, it does come with a 24-word secret recovery phrase, and something that's unique with Ledger, specifically Ledger branded hardware wallets and the Ledger Nano X, is it does use a custom operating system called the Bolos operating system created by Ledger. And basically what this does is isolates the wallet and the firmware from the apps that you download onto the Ledger device. That way, if you were to download a malicious app, it would not compromise your device, as the operating system remains isolated from those applications. Now, when it comes to coin support, the Keystone Pro and the Ledger Nano X are both pretty even in this department. The Keystone Pro supports over 5,500 coins, and so does the Ledger Nano X. They both also support a couple hundred different blockchain networks and sidechains. So regardless of which device you choose, you can feel confident knowing that it will likely support any cryptocurrency or assets that you're dealing with. Now, as far as software wallet compatibility, both the Ledger Nano X and the Keystone Pro are compatible with some of the most popular software wallets, including MetaMask and My Ether wallet. Actually, I don't think the Keystone Pro is compatible with My Ether wallet. I know the Ledger Nano X is, but there are a ton of different wallets that are used for different blockchains that both hardware wallets currently support. As for device compatibility, the Keystone Pro will work with pretty much any desktop computer as long as it can generate a QR code, as well as your iOS and Android mobile devices. All you have to do is go to the Google Play Store or the App Store and download the Keystone Hardware Wallet app, and that will allow you to scan the QR code on your phone in the application, and then from there you can initiate and complete transactions. As for the Ledger Nano X, it will connect to Mac devices as well as Windows. It will not work with Chromebooks, so that is something to keep in mind. It will connect to these desktop devices using a USB cable that connects right here. It's included with the wallet. You can also connect it to your iOS and Android devices using the Bluetooth connectivity, as long as you have the Ledger Live app installed on your mobile devices. As far as the firmware updates are concerned, you will need a micro SD card for the Keystone Pro. It does not come with a wallet. You can buy one on Amazon or Walmart for just a few dollars, and that will be used to update your Keystone device. And for the Ledger Nano X, all you have to do is plug in that USB into your computer, and you can update the device using the Ledger website. So what about the price difference when it comes to these two wallets? First, we have the Keystone Pro. It is only $169 versus the Ledger Nano X, which is $149. In my opinion, the best bang for your buck is going to be the Keystone Pro. You get the large 4-inch touchscreen and the biometric fingerprint scanner, as well as the camera, 2 batteries, and it's 100% air gapped, so it is more secure than the Ledger Nano X. I personally use the Ledger Nano X for transactions, for like everyday transactions, trading NFTs, and then I use the Keystone Pro for long-term storage of my assets. And oftentimes you can actually get the Keystone Pro for cheaper than the Ledger Nano X, because Keystone seems to run various sales, I'd say almost every month. This month they're running a 25% off sale, which is going to end probably by the time this video is published, but you can just go to their website and see any current sales they have. I also have a custom discount code you can use at checkout, which will save you 8% off your entire order. Just add everything to your cart, and then for the coupon code, put all caps, one letter, or one word, Cyberskrilla, and that will get you 8% off your entire order. So I mean, when you're saving that much money, it's like, why would you buy this when you could get something like this? I will say the Ledger Nano X, it's smaller, it's more discreet, and maybe it's a little tougher versus the Keystone Pro, as it does have this large 4-inch screen that could potentially crack if you were to drop it, versus the Nano X that probably isn't going to crack. But overall, the Keystone Pro is going to be easier to use, easier to navigate. So if I had to choose one or the other, I'm going to go with the Keystone Pro every time.